Welcome to another episode. This is Exit 36 podcast. If this is your first time here, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe. On this channel, we do a lot of intermodal work, a lot of port work. I don't do much rail yard lately, but I do a lot of port work. So if you're looking to get into the intermodal game, pulling containers out the port, this channel right here will give you a lot of information on that. So we back with another one. Going into the holiday season, you might see some stuff slow down. A lot of places take time off during the holidays, so the work might slow down. On this one, can you be an independent owner up doing intermodal work? So basically, just a one-man show pulling containers. A brief, quick, simple answer to that is yes. You can be a one-man show, just you, your truck, no trailer, no chassis, doing container work. It's not easy and it's not hard to find container work. It all depends on the work you put in. A lot of container work not going to show up on DAT load board or 123 load board. Our main contact point for container work is load match. Lately, load match haven't been taking on any new carriers. So if you just get your authority or you had your authority but you never sign up for load match, they're not taking you on right now. They might open it back up soon. I don't know how long that gonna be or when that gonna be, but that's your main contact point right there between carriers and brokers. Basically, all the carriers information up there. So if you're a carrier, you sign up on load match, they're gonna have your company name, the contact person, phone number, email, company address. Um, they have other details up there like if you do transload, if you do storage, if you have a storage lot, the address for your storage lot. Um, if you pull overweight, if you pull hazmat, if you pull what else? Tankers, if you have triaxle chassis, if you have your own chassis, all that information gonna be up there. When you first sign up for load match, they'll send you a questionnaire that you gotta fill out. And whatever you put on the questionnaire also show up on your profile on load match. So when a broker have a certain load, sometimes they might just randomly pick carriers off load match, go through your profile, see if you provide the services that they're looking for, and then they'll reach out to you, whether it's through email or through a phone call or through a text. They'll reach out to you, let you know, all right, they have a load going from point A to point B. The weight is XYZ, or they have a load, an import coming to the port. The ETA is such and such date, and it has to be transload, which means they need it offload from the container. You take it to your warehouse, offload it from the container. You might have to store it for a certain period of time and then load it onto a 53-foot dry van or 53-foot reef or a flatbed, whatever it gotta be loaded on to go to its next destination. That's for import. So once they contact you with all the details, they might ask you for a rate. to do whatever needs to be done, whether it's just a basic dray from the port to the customer, or it's a dray slash transload, which means you gotta pick it up from the port, bring it to your warehouse, offload it from the container, return the empty container back to the port, and then they'll give you further instructions on what you're going to do with the freight that you just offload. So they're going to need a rate for that. So they'll reach out to you. They'll either ask you for a rate over the phone, or they'll ask you if they could send you an email. And that's what I'd always recommend. Whenever they call you asking you for a rate, even if you and them agree on a rate over the phone, also have them send you an email with all that information also. That way you could have everything that they just say to you over the phone, you'll also have it in writing. If anything come up later on, they can't say they didn't tell you this or they tell you something else. So for a single man, owner up, doing your own thing, yeah, you're not going to be able to move a whole lot of volume of work. Depends how far these loads go. If you're doing local dray where you're only running within 50 miles, if the port allow you to come in and out multiple times a day, some days you'll get a lot done. But most days, depending on the port you're pulling out of, you might not get much done. You might get 3 loads done. If it's real busy, you might get 2. And then you also got to look into the time you spend at the customer for them to either load you or unload you. That also going to determine how many loads you could do in one day. Now, when you go to the customer with these loads, depend if it's drop-in hook or live load, that also going to play a big part in how much you're going to do for the day. So, you being a one-man show, one guy with a truck, yeah, you could make money out running containers. A lot of people that's only one person running a truck, what I've noticed is a lot of them prefer to go further out. So they'll get a load that's going 200 miles, 500 miles, something like that. That way they're not running in and out the port a lot of times for the day. So you get one load going 200, 250 miles out. You could go out and come back the same day, or you could go out, spend the night, load up the next morning or unload the next morning, depend if it's import or export. Then you come back, drop that, pick up another one and head back out. So you'll be doing one load for the day. If you're running 5 days a week, you'll be doing 5 loads for the week. That's not so hectic when it's just you, because that gives you time to set up your next load for the next day. When you're doing local dray work, you're going in and out the port so many times for the day. A lot of times you're going to be busy. You're not going to have a lot of time to be messing around with loads for the next day. Now, depends on how you set up getting the loads. If you have to be going looking, searching for loads every day, you're going to be real hectic for you to be running in and out the port 3 times for the day, maybe 4 times, and still going on the load board looking for work, going on load match looking for work, emailing brokers, emailing customers trying to get work. You're going to be real hectic if it's just you and you're doing a lot of in and out the port. You're doing a lot of in and out the chassis yard for the day. So those are stuff that you gotta consider if you do decide to get into pulling containers with just one truck. Another thing you're going to run into is you might have a broker contact you and he have 6 loads that got to come out the port. Coming up on the last free day, you might have only 2 days to get all of them out the port. If the port not real backed up, and depending on the hours that your port operate, you might be able to get it done. Also, depending on how far you gotta go with them. If you gotta take them to your yard or you gotta take them directly to the customer. It also depends how far your yard is or how far the customer is if you're gonna be able to get them done. And once they give you the work, you wanna make sure you could get them done, because you don't want the containers to go in the merge while they are assigned to you. Some brokers will get upset because you take the work and you can't complete it. Now you end up costing them money, because once the containers go in the merge, the port not going to release it until they pay for whatever days they're in the merge. And it can get real expensive.